You're such an asshole.
If you want lies, all you have to do, everyone will tell you a lie. Your teachers, your religious leaders, your politicians, the entire Democrat Party, your professors, even your older brothers, but not this older brother, not America's older brother, Aaron Clary, who you can find at assholeconsulting.com. And you can go there, send me your questions. It is not a free service, millennials. That's just for you kids out there. It's not free. I know everything should be free because those same people who lied to you told you everything should be free because reasons. And I guess, rich people just have all this money that we could just support 7 billion people on the planet just like that. But if you want the truth, go to assholeconsulting.com. And those who live in truth have infinitely easier lives. Dear asshole, first I would like to thank you for your advice that you gave me in a past video. I'm in the process of changing my life for the better. Just to refresh your memory on who I am a 22-year-old male living in the Bahamas. I currently work for one of the top engineering firms in the country. Through reflection, I realized what is most important to me. I want complete freedom over my time. Someone wise once said that owning your own companies give you time on your hands. Well, you still answer to your company, but you're answering to yourself. In other words, and this is true, the best thing about being self-employed, I'm the boss. I am and fuck you if you're a client that don't like me. I mean, it's great. I'm the nicest, most greatest, most intelligent boss I've ever had, and it's a good working relationship I have. But the large point is, there's less mental torture and insanity when you are in charge of your own destiny. You don't have someone who has a completely different set of motives and incentives to work against you. And that would be your boss. And it's nothing even malicious or evil. It's just that they don't want to pay you as much as possible. And they certainly don't want you succeeding too much because then you might get them fired and you might be the boss. So fuck that shit. It's not worth it. The mental serenity and stability that comes with self-employment, I'd say that's the number one thing. Because once you get to a certain money, it's about that. I would like your advice on this. What path should I take to achieve this task? I would like to spend the majority of my days on Earth pursuing activities that I enjoy. Think of a lifestyle similar to Dan Bilzerian. Yeah, but you didn't come from money, dude. You did not come from money. I know Dan Bilzerian, no. I smell a rat. Not that what he says is wrong. I just don't. Reminds me when in my banking days we had, these guys coming up and say, yeah, I'm a busy businessman, and they come up in a Mercedes, and then you look on their balance sheet and find out it was leased. Until I see audited financial statements of Dan's parents, I don't believe he came from money. So that's maybe a goal to have. Okay, here's what I'd like to become when I'm his age, and the dude does work for that. It's not like, the guy actually goes out and busts his ass off. So he does achieve these things. But, look at Bill Gates. There's another one. It's like, Bill Gates built it from the... No, Bill Gates came from an upper middle income class family. Donald Trump, he was given, I think, $300 million to work with. So don't really hold yourself... It's really hard to get the escape velocity. Not only get out of poverty, but then to be self-employed on top of it for normie and commoner plebes like you and me. So... He's kind of like, that's the poster boy, maybe, but keep in mind it's a poster. Even though he has fuck tons of money, I'm not sure if it is necessary to be a billionaire to become free. No, it is not. Currently, I make about $450 a week. I live at home with my parents. I'm studying to become a web application developer on the side. This is my current plan to become free. Plan A, when I gain the necessary skills to become a web developer, I can use my knowledge of coding to develop a profitable app or website that can generate me a semi-passive income. Good. Plan B, when I gain the necessary skills to become a web developer, I will make as much money as I can through work and freelancing. Then I'll venture into real estate. Investing. I hope to build a few triplexes or condos, then live off of the semi-passive income it provides me. This is not the most original plan, as you know, but I think it is definitely doable. It's doable. But where are you going to find the money? Just go build a bunch of... That's a lot of money you got to work up. And you're going to have to borrow a lot of money. And the housing market, at least in the United States, globally, certainly if you want to invest in real estate, is pretty saturated with a lot of central bank money that's been printed off. And prices are so high that you can't really find a rental market where the rent will cover your cash flow, your expenses, and your mortgage and everything else. There's some places, but you'd have to be flying out to, where was it? I think, no, Seattle's overvalued. Phoenix, some places in Florida, Vegas, places that were during the housing boom went way the fuck over the top, and now finally you're starting to get around. And then here's the other thing: you got to fly your ass back to Bermuda, or you Bahamas. Where were you again? The Bahamas. Sorry, you'd have to fly your ass back to the Bahamas and check in on your property. Are your buddies over there keeping it in good proper shape? You're gonna have to have someone manage it. It goes against my principle of having a overly complicated machine with too many cogs in it that can break down. Your business should be designed like a P-51 Mustang. Cheap, easy, fast, very few moving parts. You do not want to build a Tiger tank, which is over-engineered as fuck, constantly breaking down because it has way too many moving parts. And real estate, just sounds like you want to buy a bunch of condos. And in the Bahamas, what? Don't you have to grease some palms, deal with approval? I was in the Bahamas. I was over in Exuma one time, and I'm looking at all these half-finished condos and buildings. I'm like, okay, there's something corrupt as fuck going on here. Are you talking like you buy someplace in the United States where there's a little bit less corruption? It just sounds like a pain in the ass, frankly. I estimate both plans will take a minimum of 15 years to complete. 15 years you could work up the money to maybe buy a place for cash. But I'm willing to sacrifice my time and energy to make this work. My dreams and goals may sound childish and unrealistic. No, they don't. They're more accurate than mine were. However, I really don't care. My time on this earth is short. At best, I have 70 to 90 years left on the earth. Like I've said, I'm 22, so that leaves me with 58 years minimum. I want to spend my time chasing girls, developing my game. Okay, all right, don't chase girls. That's 7th or 5th on your list at highest rank. If you want to, I'm not saying ignore them all completely together, but don't put them number one, because then you will not be spending your time on other shit that will give you a long-term foundation and infrastructure investment that will, by the time you're 30 or 40, you actually achieve what you want to achieve. All right, and it's not going to have any. Chasing girls does not increase your chance of getting them. Asking them out occasionally, that's fine. But what increases your chance of getting girls is becoming somebody, developing skills, trades, hobbies, interests, becoming a unique man. I've said it before. 21 and 22-year-old kids, certainly 18 and 19-year-old kids, do not have enough interesting programs installed on their blank hard drives to be of interest to any 20-something girl that wants to play with that computer. And it takes time. It takes time. You're not going to become an amazing man like me. I'm kidding. But no, I'm older than you, dude. And I went out and I did shit. But when I was 20 or 21, I was a dipshit kid going to college, working security. There was nothing unique or special about that. That's a real hard sell. So focus on developing yourself as a man first. Here's an example where Dan Bilzerian would, look at what he does. He does shit. He does things. He adds awesome apps and programs to his hard drive. So when a girl sees that, I want to play that video game. I want to play on that computer. Right? But if you install the program, I want to chase girls, that every 22-year-old has that on his hard drive. That's nothing interesting. Becoming the best martial artist there you go. Becoming a martial artist is good, and basically doing a bunch of cool shit like shooting guns, hunt animals, spearfish, race cars. There you go. That's the shit that's going to make you an interesting guy, but that ain't going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen over a long period of time. But some of that stuff you can start right now. You don't need that much money to shoot guns or become a martial artist, hunt. About the only thing that costs money there is racing cars. That's about the only thing that's really expensive. So you can do a lot of cool shit. Not all at once, but you can take up all these hobbies tomorrow if you'd like to. Overall, I just want the freedom to spend my time the way I want to. I would like you to make a video request on this topic because I believe that many people share the same thoughts as I do. Do you have any other ideas how I can achieve this goal? Do you think my ideas are stupid? Let me know. Cheers. All right, look. No ideas are stupid. Okay, there are stupid ideas, but one thing that taught me that you should never dismiss ideas is a stupid company called Asshole Consulting, which I didn't think in a million years stood a shot. I thought it should just be beer money. All right, apparently not. But the key is let's do micro minimalism and IT. Okay, let's do this. 3 variables, of which I think you're pursuing 2 of them. Okay. Your goal right now studying IT is good. That's the first thing. That's good because that lends itself well to remote location work. And you asked in the previous, what's your second email here? Please know I forgot that I'd like your opinion on digital nomad lifestyle. I believe that can be another path to freedom. If you don't know what digital nomad is, it's basically finding a job that allows you to be location independent. Yeah, what job is that? Don't care. Doesn't matter. Whatever you can do to make money online, go do it. There's these drop shippers. That was the thing last year. And blogging was the thing 10 years ago. And podcasting and YouTube, that's the thing, or was the thing last week. Any which way you can make money online, do it. Because once you're online, you don't need that much, but once you're online, you can go wherever you want. You're your own boss, you work online, fuck you. You never have to suffer at the hands of a baby boomer boss, ever. So what that is, I can't tell you what that is. Now, I like the idea where you're going. IT lends itself very well to that. Web development, you don't need to be in there in person in a cubicle commuting back and forth. You could, as long as you got internet access, you can do it. Programming is another thing. So the realm of IT, ever so generally, is definitely one of those overall industries and fields that lends itself well to a remote location career. Right? You can do independent contracting. You can, heck, my IT guys, that's all he does. I don't even know if he's in the state anymore. I think he might, but he can take off anytime he wants. But I like the idea of what you're doing is going through that IT route. So that's one good thing. You do not have to start a company. You can simply do freelancing stuff. You can do independent contract work. You can maybe go over here and do a little bit of contract work. Maybe you actually have to physically show up, get your experiences, get your certifications, get your experience built up, but there's nothing, and you don't have to buy a house. Like if you get good enough at IT, you don't need to be buying houses and saving up money for 15 years to buy a place that maybe will cash flow. You'll just have the skills that are in demand if you keep them current and you're currently in fields that are in demand. If you don't know what, watch Engineered Truth and Eli the Computer Guy. Those guys will give great advice on the specifics of what parts of IT you might want to go into. But IT in general, that's the best one. It's not a physical trade. You're not a doctor. You're not a lawyer. It's just you're in IT. That's the best field to go into. So you may be just fine with that. You don't have to necessarily have a company. You would just be an independent contractor. Second thing, minimalism. Right? You don't need. This is going to get you freer, faster than working hard on it. And you have option A, make $1 billion a year, which is really, 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 really fucking hard, or figure out a way to live on $10,000 a year. Figuring out a way to live on $10,000 a year is a lot better than trying to make $1 billion a year, right? And I think that is the true path to freedom, work location independence, self-employed entrepreneur, the life you want to live. And that is just getting by with as minimal stuff that you want. It's also why I'm kind of against the property. Now you got a mortgage. Unless you're going to pay cash for that, now you got a mortgage. And now you gotta and I'm not talking you put your 20% down. Most of these fuckers put 5% down, they finance the rest, and you're fucked because your mortgage cost weighs more than your rent. It's just, I don't, that's not a minimalist approach. You couchsurfing.com, you go build up some buddies, do some reconnaissance around the world, you make some friends in Thailand, you make some friends over in Nevada, you make some friends here, you make some friends there, and you just become this vagabond, this worldly nomad. Heck, another guy you could watch, Nomad Capitalist, Andrew Hendrickson. Now he's more focusing on banking and the financial aspects of it, but it gives you another philosophy, another idea. You just don't need that much money to live. And if you're willing to live in a second or third world country, Cambodia, I guess, is dirt cheap. Everyone says Thailand, but I hear Cambodia is even better. This is where Andrew Hendrickson would come in because he's like, oh yeah, there's places in Nicaragua, Panama, places you'd never consider before. That is what I would do. And here's the other thing. You're 22. You're going to need at least a decade of traveling around the world just to figure out where the fuck you want to go. Huge country out there. Huge planet. So I know you're focusing on the money. And then at 45, when you finally have fuck you money in your company, then you go travel. I would be spending, once you get to the point you can make 15 grand a year on the internet, which isn't impossible. If you can do that, 15 grand a year on the internet, you're free to go as far as I'm concerned. You could go and travel the world dirt cheap. I'm sure there's other people who travel even dirt cheaper. But you can take the Trans-Siberian Railroad. You can go bum around Europe, backpack. Look, if spoiled rotten brats of America can go to Europe and backpack for a year, of course they're doing it on their parents' money, But if you can get it so you don't need your parents' money, but you still get that $15,000 a year that Daddy just gives you, Daddy, I need $15,000. I want to go backpacking with Chaz and Tina. You don't need your daddy's permission, but you do have enough that you could go. I mean, shoot, a fucking Roosh V, read some of his books. I guarantee you, when Roosh went to South America, he didn't make more than 15 grand that year. Just live in dirt cheap. That's why dead bat in Paraguay, there was a dead bat in his hotel room. So, and you'll have fun experiences like that. But minimalism is the key. So if you can lower the amount of money you need, then that's just that much less money you need to go and actually be free. And the whole point is that it's more important to be free than to be Dan Bilzerian. Or who else is out there living the lifestyle? I don't know. There's Ty Lopez. Is he another one where it's like, hey, look at all my fucking money. Hey, it's like, yeah, you could, if you got billions of dollars, go do that shit. You don't have billions of dollars. And frankly, that shit ain't that important. It really isn't. You'll get bored of it. But being free and answering to no one, that is that important. And soon as you get older, you'll realize, yeah, you don't need a jet. You don't need a Ferrari or Lamborghini. You just need to not answer to anybody and be your own man. And that can be done by minimalism. Not borrowing, not going into debt for stupid degrees, just doing without, not buying bread. It's not even that hard. I've been doing it forever, so it's kind of like, I don't even, like, oh, you're gonna, like, no, I'm not gonna buy a boat. You should get a boat. I don't want a boat. You can take it on White Lake. I don't want a fucking boat. It's a pain in the ass. So I think that is the next thing. And then, micro investments. Again, I think your IT idea is good enough. You can just go contract, get a decent hourly wage, set up web development. There's potential there. Keep your eye open for other things, other skills, other certifications that might make you more money. But if you actually want to start an actual business, I cannot emphasize enough that you avoid borrowing money to do so. And what I prefer to do is what's called micro investments. You say, what's micro investment? Asshole Consulting is a micro investment. In other words, the amount of money I needed to invest in it was nothing. It was micro. It was very small. I think it was $120 for the year for hosting. I had to pay my buddy to do the email shit to get the terms of service. Like, I think that was the most expensive one. I think that was $250. And then it was literally, again, the story is true, I programmed it while working a security shift for a buddy of mine overnight. And it didn't even take overnight. I think it was 4 hours. I'd got the domain name and registered and set it up. Went on WordPress. I'm like, and this is why assholeconsulting.com is the beautifully and professionally designed website that it is today. And it all in all, let's just say $500. Silver Dollar Bikini, brilliant idea, but it's a perfect example of why you want to do micro investments. SilverDollarBikini.com failed. All right, I thought, like, okay, here's something fun. I can help out. I can make like a quick buck on this. Well, not even a quick buck, but some decent money. And all my investment was same, like roughly $500 for setting up email and websites and domain and hosting and all that other jazz. But then I had to go buy some silver and some epoxy and stuff like that. Nothing. So all in all, maybe 600. Well, with the silver is more like 1,000. Well, okay, I still keep all the silver. All right. The thing fails. What am I out? I'm out $500 and maybe a week and a half of my time. Right. You get people like, I'm gonna go become a real estate investor because I saw some dude bros and they said, hey, you know, I went and sat in on Tony Robbins' seminar and like, you know, and it's just like, I gotta go and do it, bro. I gotta go and do it. And you see everyone making, you know, the TV shows, hey, I made dick all money on real estate in California, and you could be like me. If they're pointing at you with more than one finger, that's a sign they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This is the universal sign of douche, okay? If it's this, that's Uncle Sam saying he wants you. Where was I going? Oh, there you're talking hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars. And you better hope to fucking God the market doesn't crash. And you're borrowing 99% of that money, probably even more, and hoping to God that and then you got to manage it and there's rent. Fuck that shit. If you come, and this is where it takes intelligence. This is where it takes observing. Here, oh, I don't have it. Well, this will give you an idea. This is my to-do list, but I also have an idea list. And anytime I get an idea, I jot that fucker down. And it's not that the best ideas are the ones that are simple, and if they fail, they're not going to bankrupt you. I mean, here's another example. This is stupid. It's more of a strategy. Okay, so I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll send out people free Asshole Consulting bumper stickers. And I know a lot of you guys out there have ads say, hey, I gave you my address. I know I got to order some more and send them out. So all in all, I think I spent $200 on these bumper stickers plus postage. And all it has to do is basically one client per bumper sticker. But I can afford that loss of that. But it has the potential, I estimate, to generate about 15 grand. That's where true entrepreneurship and true businessmanship comes in, is coming up with clever observations, clever ideas. Figuring out problems that annoy people, saying, I bet you I could solve that. Seeing an opportunity that no one else sees. It doesn't have to be big, like I'm going to set up a social media. I'm going to create another cryptocurrency. You fucking idiots. It just has to be something like, oh, I wonder if they had it. And all of a sudden, it doesn't need that. 4 out of 5 needs to pay off. Only 1 in 5 needs to pay off. And you better be able to just pay the cash right up front to have the other 4 fail and not have it cripple your finances. So whereas you are going to focus on IT, you'll be more of a wage earner than an actual entrepreneur, but you are an entrepreneur anyway. When it comes to businesses, that can really propel you, get you escape velocity into location-independent, self-employed employment. But you gotta pay attention. You gotta think. My best entrepreneurial ideas come from when I'm hiking or driving across the country by myself, because I got all the time in the world to think, and your mind just wanders. Everybody's too busy going to school or working some cubicle slave job where the brain is otherwise occupied, and then when you're done with that, your brain has fuck all left for creativity and innovation. And then if you're gonna go chase girls and get drunk and sit at a party, like you ain't thinking, you ain't hustling, you're not coming up with the next Asshole Consulting or whatever stupid idea that might actually pay off. But just to give you those are the 3 things. Minimalism, so you don't have that high of a hurdle to get out of escape velocity. You don't need billions of dollars. Micro investments, things that you can easily afford and pay cash for, and if they fail, that's all right. You can keep on going. And then, what's the other one? Oh, yeah, your IT realm, which may even negate the point of even having a job. It's a skill unto itself, something you can teach yourself. Dude, it ain't going to take you 15 years to escape. If you could start making money as a programmer or web developer or something like that, you can make 10 to 15 grand. That should be possible in 2 years. I think even if you're starting at ground zero, you start developing websites, get a portfolio together, offer your services, run some ads on different blogs, or offer to develop somebody's blog online or their website. You can also drum up some business, and then soon you're traveling in India, hanging out at beach in Goa or something like that. All right. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. And don't let anyone tell you there's stupid ideas, but there are stupid ideas, but you'll find that out if they don't work. But always be observing. Always keep your eyes open. And it'll happen, dude. It'll happen, especially if you're minimalist. But trying to keep up with the dude bros and the people that are faking it the entire time. Although this is a brilliant strategy, like you fake it and then people actually believe you, then they give you your money and then you actually are rich. You're like, dude, I fucking meant to do it that way. It's like, yeah, okay, you're not going to be able to catch up to those guys. You're just not. But you focus on you. Don't worry about bitches and hoes and private jets and properties over at Atlantis, all right? That's a little bit more Hollywood than St. George. So, all right, we'll see you guys later. You guys got questions, go to assholeconsulting.com. You can go to my blog, CaptainCapitalism.blogspot.com. I'm sorry, you can go to my cat blog, CaptainCapitalism.blogspot.com. Pimpering. And then, if you really want to suck my dick, you go to the Clary podcast. You find it on SoundCloud.com. That's right, brother. All right, we'll see you guys later. Toodles.